As ISIS terrorizes the Middle East and the list of global threats plaguing the world grows, is U.S. intelligence doing enough to combat these threats and spotting them? Or are agencies like the NSA and CIA being misused and misguided? Here to weigh in, Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Welcome back.
Morning, guys.
So, it is, the President of the United States has made it very clear we don't have a strategy, as if this is a sudden shocker that we didn't see on the radar. But our intel people knew about it, didn't they?
Well, either they did or they didn't. And if they did, they can't claim surprise. And if they didn't, it's because they've dispatched 60,000 agents to spy on Americans in the United States of America instead of on these monsters, right, as they started to acquire more wealth and more of our former military equipment and more geographical area in the Middle East. So for the government to say, oh, all of a sudden ISIS is here, either the government's not doing its job or the government is lying to us.
Where'd you get those numbers from, Judge? That was the 60,000.
That's from the 60,000 is from your friend Edward Snowden.
So he's the one who released this.
Yes.
Now, do you believe that those orders came from the White House, or is this the NSA going rogue?
No, I think this is from the White House, Brian. I think that the president, this is just my opinion, is more concerned with wanting to know what Americans are doing rather than dispatching our intelligence agencies to find out what people who really can cause us harm are doing. So for them to say this is the JV team, for them to say all of a sudden they're on the scene, either them, meaning the government, either they're not doing the job or they're not telling us the truth. And neither is the government we should have.
So if this is a blatant disregard for the Constitution, then where's the outrage from the American people? Are we hearing it? I mean, this is their emails, their text messages, their phone calls, landlines, cell phones.
Two disregards for the Constitution. One is spying on innocent Americans without any evidence of criminal activity on the part of the Americans. The other is failing to keep us safe by allowing an entity the size and the magnitude and the ferocity of ISIS to develop without any resistance.
Now, theoretically, the NSA would be perfect for something like this, because what's the main threat from ISIS? Americans going overseas and coming back. So are they a terror threat when they go over and fight for ISIS and say, hey, okay, I want to come back to North Carolina or Florida? If we're monitoring that situation because we have a suspicion that they could have terror intentions, then the NSA would be doing its job.
Look, if somebody goes over to ISIS and fights against the Iraqi government, by the way, that's not a crime to fight against the against the Iraqi government. It's insane. And then they want to come back? That is absolutely a sufficient basis for the NSA to know what that person's saying and to whom they're saying and what their plans are when they come back. It would actually be a sufficient basis to prevent them from coming back.
Like they're doing in Britain. We're proposing to do.
And so by keeping an eye on the people who go over there and come back, that's the right thing. It's spying on all the rest of us that have nothing to do with terror. That's the problem.
And that doesn't keep us safe. It just keeps us less free.
All right. Judge Napolitano back on the
How's that for an eye-opener the day after Labor Day?
Great.
He's ready to go.
All right. Thanks, Judge.